where my throat doesn't work, apparently. Please say things, Justin.
I mean, it was working earlier when we were talking in our private recording channel, just me and you.
Yeah, that's where we record the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I coughed. I think I'm good now. All
Okay.
the stuff's out of my throat.
Oh, brother.
I don't know what else to
You
say.
know how usually it's like people think that we hate each other? It's going to be the opposite after this episode.
I gotta keep them on their toes.
Yeah, exactly.
But hello there, and welcome to our first Tapcaf episode of the new year. I am Corey, joined as always by Mr. Justin Latterson, as I have you in my phone. How are you doing this year?
I'm good. It's been a good 9 days so far. Feeling feisty. Feeling excited to talk some Skelly Crew. What's the last episode we even talked about?
We talked about episode 4. So if you were wondering if the episode 5 and 6 reviews didn't show up in your feed for some reason, they just don't exist. We didn't talk about the episodes. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about them tonight, but we're going to be focusing on episode 7 and expectations for the finale next week. Holidays got a little bit crazy, so I mean, I was sick for half of them, and then so it wasn't good. It wasn't in the cards. It wasn't in the cards.
Yeah, I mean, it's 5 and 6 kind of felt like a one long episode anyway, where they were on that they were on Epstein's Island, and Bryce Dallas Howard directed the last one. I thought she did a good job.
Yeah.
Lots of fun special effects, but episode 7, we're gonna be in so much trouble. Great episode title. What were your thoughts overall, Corey?
Well, at first I enjoyed 5 and 6. It was nice seeing them at the hotel. We got some more fun names for Silvo. Started to get.
He's got like what, 6 now?
At least, and that's just the ones we know. Probably introduces himself with a different name to everyone. But for episode 7, like we're really seeing Jod. We're seeing that Jod's just kind of a dick.
If that is his real name,
it's not his real name.
Yeah,
he just made up Jod Nanawood on the spot, and it shows. It's not his best work.
We got Crimson Jack, Dash Zenton, maybe my favorite, Professor Umium Gorlox, Emissary, Jodwick Zank, also good, the Mad Captain Silvo, and then also just Silvo. That's according to the Wikipedia.
So there's going to be probably 2 more introduced in the finale. But in this episode, we finally have the returned hat, and we open up with another parent scene, and I assume we're gonna get a lot more parents in the next episode as well. I think the scenes with the parents have been good. It's nice seeing them kind of.
They're like mirroring the kids
a little
basically.
bit, showing that they actually care about their children. Wim's dad, he was really in the negative points on that in the first few episodes.
Yeah. I mean, I like him slightly more now, but he's still got some issues.
He's got a ways to go, but assuming he keeps his head, because we kind of left the episode with Jod having a lightsaber on, and he did warn the kids that he was going to carve them up. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Star Wars will not have a show where the parents of children get killed in front of them, unless the kids are also going to die. We know from Order 66, we're not above that.
My craziest prediction is that Win's father is somehow either a Jedi himself or like of a Jedi lineage.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That would end with you were a hero all along, or like,
yes, son. You know. And then he looks into the camera and then the credits roll.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I guess I could see that, but I don't think so.
I said it was crazy, not that it was likely. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. But Joel, actually, with the donation, has a question that kind of ties into whether or not the kids will survive, saying, do you think the show is going to be a one and done? The show seems like a one and done series. Even Watts makes it seem that way. So we've talked a little bit about this, where we're already, a year beyond where it was supposed to air, so the kids are going to be much older. So I think they have said, I think Watts has said that there's like a possibility for other stories. He's thought about it, so maybe if Disney does want to do more shows.
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine any sort of like, it seems like this story is going to kind of close off. So if you wanted to tell another story, it's just as simple as telling another story with the same characters. So I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get another season, unfortunately, which I think is kind of unfortunate. Unfortunately, is unfortunate. Um, great vocabulary. Just because I do think it's a good the kind of show they should be focusing on
Yeah.
streaming, but yeah, I don't know if the numbers are there. I don't know. Like it seems like an expensive show because it looks great anyway. So yeah,
Yeah, like the arcs for these kids do seem like they're going to come to a close, but then when has that ever stopped Star Wars from introducing a new story for them?
yeah,
And like I kind of feel like we have the pirates at Atten after this episode. Jod was able to get down by hiding on the ship with them when they're going through. Uh, so it kind of seems like at Atten they're gonna find out that the Republic doesn't exist anymore, right? Like that's gotta
yeah.
happen. Not that the kids
And
have found that information, but like Jod might be able to tell everyone.
yeah, you know what my other big prediction is though. Um, Remember that turbo laser they found
Yeah, the one
on the other
on
planet?
at yeah,
Yeah, they're gonna use that to blow up the pirate ship.
that would make sense. Like
Yeah.
it's Chekhov's CIS Providence gun.
Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, I don't know. That should be an interesting reveal. Like, I feel like there's still a lot of mystery about the planet itself. I don't know if we're gonna get all of that wrapped up. Like, we still don't really know what's going on. Stephen Fry was in the last episode as the leader. I think it was Stephen Fry,
Supervisor?
wasn't it?
I don't know. I didn't
Yeah,
register as Stephen Fry to me, but
thought it was.
what's it? It's supervisor.
Yeah,
I've watched enough QI that
yeah, he was.
it was
So he
Stephen
was
Fry. Okay.
the. But I mean, he could just be a robot.
I did think the supervisor did sound a little transphobic, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it's crazy how you pick up on that from one sentence.
But like, I don't know. Is there really that much of a mystery left to add at in the planet? Like, I feel like we kind of know what's going on with that, right? Like, we know it's the mint. They're just producing all this money that no one's been there to pick up in like 3 decades, and
Is
Jod
that
just
all they're doing? Like, I still feel like it's kind of a social experiment. It's just a prank, bro.
maybe like
It's like, do you really need to keep your mint? Like, for one, were they not wondering why they were never ever sending their credits out?
well they might have, but then there's no communication in and out. Maybe that had happened before, that there was a long time that it didn't need those credits yet. It was like an inflation thing, and
No, I think there's something else going on. I do think there's something else going on.
so it's
But
both the bank and also where they filmed season 2 of Beast Games. Is that your theory?
yeah, they all had to sign NDAs. That's why no one's heard from them. Mr. Beast took all their starships and their medicine and
I
their
took this
tampons for
planet's
some
whole
reason.
fleet, and we're gonna see how long they last before they try to contact their family and friends outside.
How far can we abuse people before they break? We have got 100 players. The last one to ritualistically kill themselves gets the Republic Mint.
You've got to escalate if you want to keep people's attention. You got
Sure.
to keep raising those stakes, not
Sure.
states.
Mm.
Yeah,
They
so
might be
we
raising the states
eh,
to 51.
oh,
No, it ain't happening. We won't get statehood. We'll just be a territory.
apparently Danielle Smith would be okay with that,
God, what a rat.
yeah. So we open the episode with the parents in the woods, sending out a little probe to send out a message. So very
None of
brave of
woods.
them.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. And then
Yeah.
they get a little bit arrested. Not super arrested, but
Not bad
a little bit
arrested,
arrested.
yeah. Like, considering
Yeah.
what they did, it could have been worse.
Yeah, they used an illegal cell phone.
Yeah. They had to get through the orbital night cloak, right?
Yeah, it does look a lot like I'm sure that orbital night cloaks came up in the designer's Google image search at some
Yeah, for
point. There's
sure.
no way it didn't.
Well, it reminded me of three things: the orbital night cloak, the storm seed, and the storm wall from the High Republic.
Yeah,
Which I don't really remember how it was described. I feel like the storm wall may have been like transparent. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've read the book, but
I just
it kind of
pictured
it
as
reminded
red because that's edgiest.
yeah, it reminded me a lot of the storm wall in appearance. The satellites also kind of reminded me of the ones Palpatine uses in like Battlefront 2
Yeah.
and like the comics to like ravage planets like Naboo.
Hmm.
So
Which are basically night cloaks, right? So
yeah, they're essentially night cloaks. Yeah.
But
Yeah, they definitely saw the night cloak, but they're like also a security system because like, I thought it was kind of cool how they're checking the ship for authentication codes or whatever. And red is bad and green is good.
yeah, well, that's just a good UX, right? Like you're not gonna switch those just to be
No,
different. Like
no.
maybe Apple would, but most. I'm pretty sure the ships all have to be USB 3.0 as well. But we
They have
do
to
get a
connect to
scene.
iTunes, which is crazy.
But are you able to access it if you don't have like an AT-AT device, but you do have an AT-AT account? Like,
You got to get
will the
on.
gift card still work?
Yeah, you got to call. You got to call into the number, and unfortunately, the Republic's been gone for some time. So good luck. You'll be getting a robot.
Well, you're gonna get a robot anyways on the planet,
That's true. Yeah.
much like the robots who somewhat arrested the parents.
hmm
But on the
Yeah, the
ship,
robots are dumber than I thought they'd be, for sure.
yeah, well, they're is the supervisor going to be a smart robot or
I think he's gonna be like a BRT supercomputer.
so it's a Wizard
That'd
of
be cool.
Oz situation or
Yeah.
what is that thing called? Mother on Belsavis? No, I think I'm confusing. I think I'm conflating the Rakatan one on Belsavis
Yeah.
and
You are.
uh Mother Machine. Is Mother Machine the one I'm thinking of? Or is that the Rakatan
No,
one?
I don't think so. But
Yeah,
in
Mother Machine's the
the
Rakatan
old
one.
the old Marvel comic
That's
or
what I'm.
the not the
Yeah,
Marvel the newspaper dailies, the stories are told through like C-3PO and R2D2 talking to this giant supercomputer called the BRT,
yeah.
and it's just
Okay,
like
yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of.
yeah, it's just like a wall of
Yeah,
circuitry and stuff, and that's what I imagine it will be.
and I mean that would fit because we have the pirates who are very piratey, the Toph who
Yep.
are very piratey.
Yep.
They these pirates are all just Toph.
I would be fine with that.
We're bringing
I'd be
back
fine
the
with the Toph
Merryweather.
being a not a less of a species and more just a group.
Would you accept the Merryweather in live action? We get a pirate ship straight out of
Mm,
Legends. What's the
I accept the
reaction?
Merryweather before I accepted Hoth's one.
Yeah,
What's
the
his?
oh fuck. It's Valentine Farfall's ship, right? Not Hoth's.
Yeah, it's Far Follows. It's
The
what is it?
fucking
I
wooden
forget what it's
one.
called. The Fairwind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that's worse. That's definitely worse.
All of that, but like I remember reading Bane. I don't think the Fairwind's described as like a sailboat.
No,
Maybe it is, but the comic is like
it's wood in
really
the
bad.
comic. Well, actually,
Did
in
we
the
read
books,
that?
isn't it described as being made out of like Rosher wood or something?
Yeah, it might have been.
Or is that just from the comics as well?
It might have been. I don't know.
We need to reread Bane. So
The
everyone
comics
can
came
listen to
first
us
though,
say it
so
was kind of meh.
yeah.
Let's see. Raw shear. Yeah, made out of raw shear timber. Essential Guide to Warfare said that. Okay. Never mind. Yeah, the kids, we get a scene with them on the ship where they all talk about how they actually enjoyed themselves after all, which is nice for them. But
Yeah.
Wim's sad that he's going to have to take his test. I understand. I feel that way
Yeah.
too.
Been there, buddy.
Like we all have those dreams, I'm sure. Like, oh, this
Oh
course I
yeah.
didn't go to in university. I have to go and do the final today. And then you
Oh
wake
my
up.
god. I have that dream all the time where it's like for me when I dream it's always like a class like it's like a social studies class that I can't like historical something and like I just can't bullshit it. Like historical basket weaving.
I always have that with like calculus or something, where like there's a math class or a stats class that I had to go to that I just didn't, or like I'll dream that I've gone to the first day and then I try to remember when and where I'm supposed to be there, but then I just fast forward to the exam that I haven't taken the class for. Then I'll wake up still feeling bad about it, even though I was
I,
always like I was pretty strong in the math classes and I never had to
yeah.
take one in university.
Yeah. I was always a responsible student as well, but yeah, I for me I always dream that I'm showing up at the exam review
Yeah.
like the week before the exam and I'm like what the fuck is going on here? Sometimes it's chemistry actually. Maybe that was because chemistry was one of my worst subjects always. But
I wish I could just leave the planet like Wim does to get away from that.
yeah, I like that's real.
Yeah. I think
His
like
shit seems hard
overall,
too.
the kids have been handled really well. Like
Mhm.
they feel like actual kids without being like annoying caricatures of kids. Like the stuff they say, the stuff they do, it feels genuine. Like I feel like I could and probably will show this show to my nephews, and they'd be like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
just like me for real," and then say no cap, and I'll start to be confused by them again.
Fortnite emote on you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there hasn't been enough dabbing from the kid.
yeah, that's true. As someone with a kid, like, well, Wim's probably like what, 9 or 12?
No, he's
I
not.
don't
I
know,
think
man.
Fern and KB are probably 11, and then Wim and Neil are probably like 9, 8 or
It's hard to tell.
9.
Like, yeah, but either way, my kid is 6, and I see like a lot of dabbing and shit.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of everything's sus.
If
Like the nice thing is like if I want to make my kids laugh, all I've got to do is like throw sus into something, sus or diarrhea. I'd be
oh,
like, "Wow,
sus
August,
diarrhea.
what do you think of that? What do you think of that dog on the side of the road?" Like, "Oh, it's cute." I'd be like, "Really? I thought that dog was pretty sus." And it's like I could have just told the funniest joke in the world.
Fucking got him.
Yeah,
Do they have stand-up comedians for kids, or that is that just a clown?
I guess it's kind of like the Wiggles.
Mm.
Wiggles are like physical humor.
Yeah.
Same with
Do they
Sesame
do they just get up on stage and say sus, and then the kids clap, and then they're like, oh, how about
Street.
airline food?
Good
That's pretty
business.
sus.
It's a good business model.
Yeah.
That is true. Just you don't even have to make new jokes. Just like
I certainly don't, anyways.
adapt past ones.
Okay,
Yeah.
the actor for Wim is currently 13.
Okay.
And Skeleton Crew was filmed in what, 2021? So
Not that
10?
long ago.
I think
Wow.
so. Uh, but it would have been more realistic if on Wim's data pad he'd just been watching like Space Skibbity Toilet or something.
Yeah.
There has
I
to
was gonna
be a
say
Skibbity Toilet in Star Wars.
yeah.
Oh, okay. 2022 filming began, so
Okay.
2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, back to the show. What did you think of Jod? So I think I mean I was expecting Jod to be a more sympathetic character.
Yeah,
I do still think, I tweeted out hurt people. I do think like I do think that when he was like being a total dick to the kids on the bridge of the ship, like I do think he was realizing he was going too far.
yeah.
Especially when what's her name was like crying and like she was going to say I felt like she was going to say like you can't do this for just kids like she did before. And I feel like he knew like yeah. I really like the dynamic that he's got going on because it's not so simple as oh yeah, he's not like Han Solo who's a scoundrel and but with the heart of gold, he's he's messed up. He's doing messed up things.
Yeah.
He's killed multiple people like
Yeah.
with no regret. He's clearly hardened. Maybe he's got some Order 66 trauma. If he is actually a Jedi, maybe that's what's going on.
So
Um,
there's the possibility that he survived Order 66, but I've also seen the theory that like maybe he failed out, which I think I can like if he was an Agricor kind of situation. That's where a lot of Inquisitors came from in Legends. So it could I think that works.
yeah. Either way, he's got his life was messed up, and
Yeah.
I feel like he does know. Like I don't think it was an accident. We got that episode where they go to the Fallout planet, and he is really caring for the kids. I do
Yeah.
think, like, I don't agree. Charlie made a good joke that he could die under a pile of money, like it could collapse on him,
Hmm.
and I saw a few other people say that, and I could see that, but I do still personally think he's going to take a turn at the end for the good.
Yeah. Like
Maybe
I
not like a full turn, but
there was definitely a lot in the line of like you're all weak, sheltered, spoiled children that like he's got to work through that before the next episode.
yeah.
And Jude Law had said that this episode was going to show, like it's the best one for showing like information on his character. And like I think we do see a lot of how his brain works there. He was afraid of getting killed again. He was going to go out the airlock, and then he convinces them to kill poor Glurb. That was a fan favorite, like shoe in for me. But
Was that his
no,
name? The
Glurb.
Shistavanian Wolfman?
No, not the Shistavanian
Oh,
Wolfman is Brutus.
Oh yeah, Briggs.
Glurb was the Quarren who explodes in the fighter.
Yeah, in the same fighter from Mando season 3.
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering whether we might, because I'm like we still don't know whether this was before or after Mando. I thought we might see that that pilot jump in the what's the Nick? Is he a Nikto?
Vane?
Vane, yeah. Is he a Nikto?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we might see him jump in, and if he died, well, we would have known for sure it was after Mando
Yeah.
season 3. But
Well, I think this is after for sure, because like
you
we know he survived, right? Like he just
Mhm.
runs away,
Yep.
and like I feel like if it was before, then he wouldn't have that much time to get to Gorian Shard,
Gorian Shard, yeah. Gorian Shard.
and I feel like Shard would have been around maybe for this. So I
Good point.
think this is
Yeah.
after.
Yeah, I feel like they could do some interesting stuff with the pirates, like because they do seem to have something going on here, where there's multiple ships that look like they could be under the same banner. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I really enjoy that. Like I think like an animated show kind of about that could be cool. It was one of my favorite parts of Mando season 3. I really like how they're going full like silly because Gorian Shard was also like he looks like he's straight out of this show
Yeah.
where he's what's his name from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Davy Jones.
Davy Jones, yeah.
That's more of a Quarren again, though.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
I've liked how the aliens have generally looked in this, but like Glurb specifically, I think it was a horrible face.
Horrible how?
Like he looked so fake.
Oh, really? I didn't really like I didn't did he get his eye shot out? Was he the same one
I
in
don't
the first
think
episode?
so.
I didn't really I didn't really register Glurb, I got to admit.
Like I think it's something to do with the mouth and the middle tendril to me, but
Mhm.
like everything else has looked great. It's just he always stands out to me. Like I've never had particularly high standards for the costume. Like I've never been bothered by any like species looking slightly off or something being obviously of costume. Other than when like Ahsoka had her tiara thing off and you could see the little wriggling worms like original episode 6 on Palpatine's face. Those that bothered me. But like something about Glurb just looked out of place to me.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know.
Still
Uh,
my favorite character. To be clear. To be clear.
yeah, I I definitely didn't have the same attachment to him like a lot of people did, but I've got a question for you.
No.
Um, do you think because Darth Maul in Episode 1, like
Okay. Where are we going with this?
when you look at Darth Maul Episode 1 face, look at a picture of
Okay.
his face, like his horns, like they look just stuck on. Like
Yes. You can
I'm
see
not
like the
convinced.
mounds of glue.
Yeah, I'm not convinced Darth Maul was meant to be an alien.
Yes, he was. Like the
I
concept
didn't.
art goes pretty early of him looking like having the horns and stuff, right?
Yeah, I know. I don't think the horns were meant to be stuck on. I feel like Darth Maul was meant to be a body modification guy.
Oh, okay. So
The
like the
tattoos.
concept art was there the whole time, but he wasn't supposed to be an alien. He was just into that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so.
No,
I like
I'm not
maybe,
sure if
but
I
not
agree
based
either. I just
off that evidence. It's just a costume that's a
no. Yeah, the horns looking separate. I don't know why I led with that. It's a funny separate thing.
okay.
I think it's possible that Darth Maul was just meant to be a scary human,
Yeah,
but doesn't matter
maybe.
because he didn't end up that way. Yeah.
Wasn't scary at all. Well, the concepts make it look even more like naturally part of him.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not buying it. I'm selling it. I'm
Okay.
out.
All right. Elevator pitch failed.
Send it on Shark Tank. See if you get any investment, but not happening. Yeah, so the kids manage to plop up or pluck up Brutus when the pirates are approaching the ship, and Jaw just executes him. No one seems to have a huge problem with that, which fair enough.
Yeah.
And we get a fun scene on the bridge with Shmi 33. I'm gonna with Shmi going through the finer points of pirate law to Jod that he can only be the captain of one ship at a time.
Doesn't seem legit to me.
Nah, I'd buy it. I don't know. I know you didn't really cover this most likely in your law classes, but this sounds like a
Actually,
thing pirates would do.
maritime law was massive at my school, but I didn't cover that. There's also a space law course. I wish I would have taken that.
You can still go back once YouTube's done. You gotta refresh yourself.
So I was at a wedding the other day, and it's my buddy who's a lawyer, and I was sitting down at the table, and I hear, Justin, is that you? I look over, and it's my favorite professor from law school at the wedding. She's like, "Oh my god, how have you been?" And it like she recognized me before I recognized her. I had to tell her that I told her my job that I did for a while, which she was extremely proud of because it was like the course she taught me, and it was like the
Mm-hmm.
best job you can get in that field. And then I had to tell her I don't do it anymore.
I talk about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like you probably moved on to only talking about hockey in public if you have to.
Yeah, mostly. I say I talk. I say I manage channels and entertainment channels, basically.
I've gone from talking about Corey loses to Corey's data pad just because it feels like slightly better, but or at least it has better numbers if people look it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I never say names.
They always want to know the name.
I
I
know.
always want to say no, but I can't. Not who I am.
Well, so I play hockey with a guy who was like for a while, and he talked to me. And he's like, "Oh, I heard you do YouTube," and I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, I do it too." And I was like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "Oh yeah, I do shorts," and he would not tell me what his channel was.
That's the right call.
Yeah.
I wish I had that mental fortitude, that social fortitude to not just cave to
He was like, "No,
every.
I'm not going to." Like, all right, man. Fair enough.
Yeah, like my old neighbor, when I told him what I did, he like there was some like kitchen appliance or something that he couldn't figure out how to get working. So he he started asking me about like YouTube tutorials for that as if like in a way that made it seem like he thought like YouTube was a
Yeah,
place
some
you
of your
work and
coworkers. Yeah.
I just go and talk to the fucking KitchenAid coverage guy on how but
To be fair, the longer you do YouTube, the kind of more it becomes like that. Like some of the people I know, the random channels,
yeah,
no kitchen appliance. Well, Mark Burrell does kitchen appliance stuff. He did a
yeah.
Dyson fan review, so yeah.
Linus Tech. Yeah, so we have the unclaimsies that Fern calls when Silvo says that he's given up the other pirate ship, he's taken this one, and Fern is able to say unclaimsies, and
He's
like
like, good enough for
33,
me.
he's he's a
That
real
was
one.
awesome.
He's
Yeah,
a
he's
headless
the
one
best.
now, but he's a real one.
He's a droid.
Yeah, he's
We
putting
can
it.
repair him.
They're gonna fix him.
The
There's no way he's
little.
dead.
Do you think that little creature inside of him is doing anything?
Uh, like it is doing anything in him?
Yeah.
Like is that 33? And then the body is just it's like
I
a
don't think
mech
it is
suit
33, but I
situation.
feel like maybe he's like gnawed just the right wires to like make his personality like that.
Maybe I I'd rather believe that he is 33 in a mech, but
I
or
like that idea too.
he's gonna
Because
weld it.
he gets his head cut off and he instantly screams at him, which is awesome.
Yeah. Well, he's also being like the rats made a he's gotten like in with the kids. The kids like the rat. Is that the one that was in him originally, or is that the one that was
Yeah.
like getting the keys, or are those the same rat?
Now that I don't know. don't think it was the same rat, but now I don't know.
It's like it was the same
His name is
type of rat, right?
Snowball. It's a bilge rat named Snowball. Yeah. Yeah, it was. I guess he was the same one. Yeah. I mean, Neil fed him, so
Yeah. You feed a rat, you got a friend for life.
yeah, that's why I had the rat living in my walls for a bit when Charlie was staying here. It was so loud, it was crazy. And then
Thought
my
that was
cat killed it.
raccoons.
We had a raccoon too, a baby raccoon. The raccoon was really loud because it was trying to get to its baby who was stuck in the wall.
Shouldn't let the babies run in the walls. What to tell you?
Well, yeah, the fucker climbed in like through the roof, dropped its fucking baby in the wall, did not elaborate, and left.
So 33 knocks out Jod
Mhm.
temporarily.
Mhm.
They think they're getting home. They have the message from their parents that played in front of the pirates. That was probably going to be embarrassing for everyone. I don't want all the pirates seeing my message from my parents. Jod turned out he was fine. He was on the ship.
Right.
He had the lightsaber. And bye bye 33's head. He takes the kids hostage. We already talked a bit about that. And they start the landing procedure to go to the mint. But it seems like Jod is able to like subvert a lot of procedures here. Didn't
Mhm.
have much identification. Like I guess get it once you're through the barrier, you're just kind of they just take whatever you say as
Yeah, I mean, he was on the ship. I like to imagine the droids are going a little senile as well. Like, who knows how long they've been.
yeah,
Like, it
no
was an
memory wipe.
old Republic world. It could have been. It was definitely pre Clone Wars, at least, because they would have said something. I assume. So it could be, at this point it could be 50 years old. It could be 500 years secluded behind the veil. Like, who
Yeah.
knows? Like, it doesn't look High Republic-y, but the Great Work sounds like something
Yeah, like
something like the High Republic would be all about.
if the dataries are that valuable, like maybe Palpatine fucking collected and burned all the money, but it'd be
Mm.
like if the five, like the Canadian five from the '90s, our last paper money, was worth like $1 million each.
Well, I do think they're made out of gold. Like, I think that's the difference. I think they're made out of something valuable.
But how much were they worth at the time? Like, is it worth more now than it was before because it's an Old Republic data, or is it just the material is very valuable?
Yeah, I think like the galaxies like underwent hyperinflation, and it's just like because it's gold, it's held its value. Maybe
So you're saying the Birds of Canada series banknotes aren't going to be worth as much as these?
we'll have to see.
Did the
It's a
Queen
very
get?
Justin Trudeau's.
Oh, no. Thanks anymore. Yeah,
Is it a bilge rat named Snowball?
I wish, if only. But we got the kids back on the planet. Unclaimsies had been called. Jod fucking has an avalanche of credits that no one seems to care of. Like the droids are like, yeah, this seems normal. We should let this
Is he
happen.
supposed to react like this?
Did he like cut their heads off when he came out? Did he kill the droids? Because he just
I
walks
don't
out the
know.
door, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. He might have. He's a bad dude. I thought the droids were nice to let the parents come down on that little platform, though.
Well, do you think the droids let them, or did they commandeer some shit?
Hey, weren't they being held? So I think they let them.
Okay. Didn't
Yeah.
commandeer any droids?
No.
Fun. How does like what if the kids are raised on this planet? They graduate and then they don't want to work in finance.
What else are they gonna do?
I don't know. There's got to be like a fast food place on the planet that
Yeah,
like you
they
got
go.
you got the
They
local
had they had
economy.
some nice. They had some nice looking woodland as well. You go to live off in the woods for a bit. They had a nice lake.
Not everybody in Alberta works in the oil industry, right? Like there's still people who work the rest of the economy. It's a whole
Uh,
planet.
yeah, I'm not convinced about that.
Okay, I've been there. Have you been there? I can attest to
I've
that.
never been to Alberta. I've never been west of Toronto.
Never been west of Toronto.
No.
Not even to like fucking
Well, like
Barrie.
I've never been more than 100 kilometers west of Toronto.
Changing our story
Except that, well,
already.
in Canada, I've been to this. I've been to the
Yeah,
States.
we were both west of Toronto together.
Yeah, it just started feeling weird.
It's nice. Like you go into the mountains. That's a nice time. Edmonton's nice. I didn't
I'd
go to
love to go to
Calgary.
Vancouver. I would love to go to Vancouver.
Yeah, that's where every YouTuber lives, though.
It's true.
All of them.
You know, there's a few in Halifax. There's another hockey channel in Halifax. Full timer.
There's
Copied my shtick. It's on site. I'm joking.
there's Simply Nailogical in Ottawa. I think she might be the biggest Ottawa YouTuber. There was someone else from Ottawa that was on the Traders Canada, an Ottawa YouTuber. So maybe there's room for me on reality shows.
The biggest one here is definitely what's his name? Nick A30
Hmm.
or Picnic
I'm not
Face.
sure who the biggest one actually. Like I think Simply Nailogical is, but I could be wrong.
I know there's not too many here because I just went on the Reddit thread and I'm number 3. So
Okay.
the third mention. So can't be that many.
So what are your thoughts for the finale? What's gonna happen?
Turbo Laser
Right?
is gonna happen.
Safe bet.
Jod is going to he's gonna end up with some money, but I think he's gonna have a Dash Rendar style ending, where he gets what he wants, but he also ends up doing the right thing.
Yeah. I think that's
That's,
probably gonna happen. Like I don't think he's gonna kill. Like I don't know, cause like what's the kids are home? Does he maybe help against the pirates? Cause the like he just wants the money, but the pirates decide they want to raid more, and then he has to help them against the. That would I
yeah,
guess be
like
my bet.
I thought I saw something when he watched the kids right before he pulled his saber out when he saw the kids reuniting with their parents. I do feel
Yeah.
like, but
Yeah.
maybe I'm reading too much into it because I want him to be like that. But
I think he will. I think we're going for some kind of turn with him. I think he will help against the pirates because the pirates are still out there as like an
yeah,
oppositional force. They don't need it to be Jod,
yeah.
and yeah, then he like rides off into the sunset. Maybe Wim goes with him. His dad agrees that Wim can go and be a pirate in space. That'd be fun. Do you think we're gonna get a
Tired of
cameo of
fucking
any
dealing with
kind?
that kid. What's that?
Think we're gonna get any
Cameo?
kind of cameo?
I don't think so. No. Like maybe we could get a Hondo at the end. Um, but no, I don't. I don't really think so. What about you?
I think it's nobody. I don't think it's even gonna be Hondo. Like I feel like
Yeah, I don't
Hondo
think it's
is
gonna
too
be
much of
Hondo
a
either.
good guy pirate, and he's not gonna like. There's no way for him to show up at this point.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think we're going to get anybody.
I think we're locked in for a prediction. Anything else?
No, good episode. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the finale and hopefully season 2.
All right. Well, we got one more question from Joel.
Yep.
And we'll maybe do a little bit of Star Wars news if there's any. I don't think there is. But Joel is
No.
asking, do you think they'll announce soon whatever the next streaming show is after Ahsoka Season 2? And what do you speculate that could focus on?
Oh man, Ahsoka season 2 is so far away.
Yeah. Like we've got Andor this year. Uh, there's maybe an animated show in 2026.
Yeah, that I suspect will be the next one announced.
There might be a Tales this year, another animated show in 2026. Then
Are we
maybe
getting another what's it called? Compilate the why am I forgetting the name
Visions.
of it?
I
Yeah.
think that has been announced.
Yeah. Because if I remember correctly, they're going back to Japan,
Yes.
like anime, but I could be making that up. No, it's
Yeah.
renewed for season 3. Yeah, so it's back to Japan for a third installment.
Yeah, with Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah. Which is next year, right? And yeah, all right, because Star Wars Celebration is in Japan next year. Oh, I really want to go.
Isn't Visions this year? Vision season 3? Yeah, Joel says yes. Yeah, Star Wars Visions returns with Volume 3 in 2025. So I think we're going to get Tales, Andor, and Vision Season 3 this year.
Tales of the what?
I don't know.
We
Tales
could
of
get
something.
another Tales of the Jedi, honestly.
Maybe. Tales of the New Republic, Tales of the
I'd like that.
Cuz what was it? I guess it was Tales of the Empire for the last
Yep.
one. But I mean,
Pretty mediocre.
I liked them.
I like the first one. I just thought Tales of the Empire was a little
Yeah.
better.
So
Visions to me is something I look forward to much more.
really, I'm kind of the opposite there. I enjoyed a lot of season 1 of Visions, and I liked some of season 2, but season 2 hasn't really stuck with me to the point that I wasn't even sure if I'd already seen season 3 and just
Yeah,
forgotten
I
it.
definitely like the anime, like the Japanese one better. I
Yeah,
thought.
but it'll like I really think Ahsoka would be 2026, 2027.
Yeah, it's
It's starting. Like Filoni's working on it now, so like that's writing. So 2027 might be even safer than
yeah.
like I'm not sure show wise what would even be like it'd be so far after that. Like I have no idea what
Yeah.
shows might look like because that'd probably be influenced by the movies too,
Which who knows when they're coming.
if they're coming.
Yeah. It's not an ideal time to have a Star Wars channel.
No, it's is there
So
just like a
actually there
live
was just a
action?
bit of news from Jeff Snyder, came out 15 minutes ago, who said that Rory McCann will be inheriting his late friend Ray Stevenson's role in Ahsoka season 2. And Rory McCann was the Hound from Game of Thrones. If you
From
guys have seen
Fox and the
that,
Hound.
yes,
Man, I
and
love that movie. That's my favorite.
yeah, it is a good movie. He's got a similar build. His face, like I think, like when you're recasting, you can't. He's a pretty good choice, if that rumor is true. He's very large. Like he's got the same physical.
Yeah, I think he's close enough that I can believe it.
Crazy, he's got that massive burn though. I don't know what they're gonna do with that.
Fun with Nubs. That was last year. Is any there's no shows that are announced that we haven't seen yet, right? We're at the end of that.
Lando, and there's
Oh
a
right, Lando.
droids. There's like a droids one as well. But
No, like of the ones that are actually happening now. Wasn't Lando turned into a movie again, or is it a show?
it was last I heard it was supposed to be a show, and that's one like I really like Donald Glover.
Mm-hmm.
Um, also Danny Glover if you can get him involved. But I would really
Julian
like to
Glover
see
would
that.
be great as well.
Yeah, I'd really like to see that as a show. Is Julian Glover still alive?
I think he is. I feel like Veers Watch on
He is.
Twitter would
Wow,
have said
90.
something if
Yeah,
he wasn't.
yeah.
Like, can we get a First Order era Colonel Veers?
That would be great. Well, he's a little too old, but
No, we're too
he's
old.
he's 90.
If Shatner can go to space at 92, Julian Glover can ride an AT-AT at 89.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, how old is? It's only 30 years difference
Well, I
from
mean,
Empire
he doesn't
Strikes
need to be
Back.
that close.
I guess you're gonna say he was 60, and
He was wearing a helmet. It's hard to tell.
that's true.
Could have had a long career. All right. Any other Star Wars news before we call it for the week?
No, it's been pretty slow. And half the news you can't believe anyway. So
So next week we are going to be talking about the finale of Skellington Crew. Week after that, we have no plans currently.
we'll figure it out.
Is that a potential slot for our NJO discussion?
Yeah, it is
So we'll
potentially.
talk to Ilkin about potentially doing that. But
Mhm.
we should be back to our weekly schedule now that the hollandaise is over, the sauce is gone. It's time for X2 tonight.
Yeah,
So
back
thank you
to
for listening.
back to the slush.
We're gonna get slush.
Back to the swamp.
Beautiful.
Back to the sludge is the good word actually.
Go. All right. Thanks for listening. Hope to see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.